is Valley News Live at 4.
Breaking news this afternoon as a man has surrendered after holding authorities at bay for hours in Fairmount, North Dakota. We're awaiting an update from authorities. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley was the first one on the scene. She joins us now live with the latest. Bailey?
Yes, Stacey, right now the bomb squad is sweeping the house that has been at the center of this standoff for 5 hours today. They're currently doing that sweep as police have told us that there's a few spots in the house that a robot wasn't able to check. So the bomb squad had to gear up in all of their bomb gear and go into that house, and that safety sweep is currently happening right now. You can see the ATF as well as Red River Valley SWAT are still here on scene. Stacey, what we know so far is that fire crews were sent to this house here, at the house in question, around 10 a.m. for a fire. What we know from that suspect's social media videos is that he claims in social media videos that have been shared with us and that I've personally seen on his page, he says that he set his car on fire in his garage because, quote, if he couldn't have it, then he didn't want anybody to have it. He told in that video, he said that he loved his family, he loved his pets. However, he hates the government and he loves his country, hates the government, and hates the police. That surrender happened just about an hour ago. There's a press conference happening just right across the road from where I am now. This investigation is still very heavy, very ongoing. Investigators say that they believe that they'll be here throughout the night, going through everything, putting out the ashes where that fire happened early this morning and has been smoking since I got here on scene around 11:30. A lot happening here in this little small town of Fairmount, North Dakota. We'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. For now, live in Fairmount, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks so much, Bailey. Now in Fargo, Freedom Truckers are starting to gather at the Petro Truck Center on 45th Street. Here's a video of them leaving from Minot as they plan to make their way across the state. The North Dakota Truckers Convoy also stopped in Bismarck. Earlier today, we had a chance to speak to the organizer of the Fargo Bridge Committee, who will be supporting the truckers by gathering at the interstate overpass. She says their mission is in line with other convoys across the country.
When we feel like there's overreach of the government, we want to stand united to protect our freedoms.
She told us the North Dakota convoy was inspired by the People's Convoy in California, as well as the demonstrations in Ottawa, Canada. Well, our weather again is expected to take a turn. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us with a first look. Hutch?
It was a cold day today as we began our Thursday. We did have a little bit of snow down to the south, and that continues as well. We'll talk more on the current situation, but I want to get everyone updated. We can get ready for the weekend ahead. We're continuing our first alert weather days for Saturday and Sunday, but the changes continue. The impacts from this system in our area, in our viewing area, will mainly be in our far southern and eastern communities. Anyone with travel, though, could run into some problems. And now, looks like even some thunder and ice could be a chance in those first alert weather days. Here's the latest. Let's take a look at the picture as the storm moves out of Colorado up into portions of Iowa. There'll be a chance for some strong thunderstorms in Iowa, and those could push up into southern Minnesota. Where you see the pinks here, and I'll head over to the big wall so I can point this out. We could see some significant areas of icing near the Twin Cities and up into northern parts of Wisconsin. Behind it, the snow sets up. This is Saturday, and this is in the afternoon. So Saturday afternoon and into the Saturday night time frame, the system works its way through with a mix of rain, sleet, freezing rain, and some ice. Here's the heaviest band of snow. There could be some 6+. Notice it's way in the far southern portion of our viewing area. Anyone traveling south or southeast of Fargo could run into that. Look at the ice in and around the Twin Cities. This is a potential. We'll keep you posted with that. For tonight, clouds, a few snow showers in the far south, and your hour-by-hour forecast. Stacey, coming up here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch. The war in Ukraine is being fought thousands of miles away from the U.S., but Americans are standing up to help. A husband and a wife, both military vets, are headed from Virginia to the war zone to donate their time and expertise, even as the U.S. advises American citizens to stay away. Natalie Brand has their story.
Struck by the images in Ukraine, retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel Rip Rawlings and his wife, also a veteran, Dr. Aaron Felger, packed their bags and left Virginia Thursday, headed to the war zone.
Grew up with a grandfather who was in World War II and was a prisoner of war of the Germans for almost 2 years. And so we have a deep sense of loyalty and patriotism in our family, and it's never wavered.
If we don't do anything about tyranny, then tyranny exists, and so people have to step up and do something about it.
Rawlings is now an author who actually wrote a fictional book about a Russian invasion in Europe. He's now going to cover the reality as a journalist.
You literally have civilians that are getting in the line and participating in putting up barricades and, doing what I think is remarkable work and very courageous work. And I think I'd like to document some of that courage.
Dr. Felger worked as a combat surgeon in Iraq and hopes to put her medical skills to use in local hospitals. She plans to start with the injured evacuated into Poland and then head into Ukraine.
They're just very short-handed right now. When we first started looking into this, we had probably within 3 hours of getting a contact, people that wanted me to come to a particular hospital.
While the U.S. has advised against American citizens traveling to Ukraine, this couple feel with their experience they can make a contribution. The hardest part, explaining their decision to their 9 and 10-year-old children.
They were sad, very sad. You get it in their eyes that they truly understand what's happening now.
The kids will be staying with friends.
What about saying prayers every night?
Until their parents return home. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration is seeking another $10 billion to help protect Ukraine against the Russian invasion. That's in addition to more than $22 billion to cover pandemic-related expenses. These requests would be additions to a planned budget agreement that Congress is trying to finish before a March 11 deadline. Last week, Biden administration officials told congressional aides that their requests would include $3.5 billion for the Pentagon, $2.9 billion for humanitarian aid, as Russia's invasion has caused more than 1 million Ukrainian refugees to flee their country. The $22.5 billion tied to the coronavirus would pay for testing, treatments, and vaccines, as well as investments in research and efforts to increase vaccinations worldwide. The requested Ukraine assistance seems likely to win broad bipartisan support in Congress. The proposed additional COVID-19 spending has won strong support from Democrats. Fire investigators are looking into the cause of a garage fire that damaged several units and a car. It happened along 20th Avenue South in Fargo just after 11 last night. Firefighters were on the scene for several hours working to put out the flames. No one was hurt. The damage is estimated at around $50,000. There was a second fire overnight too, this one on the north side of Fargo. Officials say an unintentional engine compartment fire is what caused crews to rush to the 800 block of 10th Avenue North just before 4 a.m. That fire was contained to the front of the car, causing an estimated $2,500 in damages. And over in West Fargo, an outbuilding started on fire around 8 this morning. That was quickly put out and no one was hurt. Starting next week, people will be able to order an additional set of COVID-19 rapid tests from the website covidtest.gov. Another set of 4 tests can be ordered for free and delivered to homes via the U.S. Postal Service. Nearly half of the 500 million COVID tests made available to the public by the federal government have not been claimed. Now, as demand for COVID-19 vaccines collapses in many areas of the U.S., states are scrambling to use stockpiles of doses before they expire and have to be added to the millions that have already gone to waste. From some of the least vaccinated states like Indiana and North Dakota to some of the most vaccinated like New Jersey and Vermont, public health departments are shuffling doses around in hopes of finding providers that can use them. While the